Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to offer you another short story in the series designed to disclose the origin of superstitions. This one, popular with the fairer sex, deals with the belief that if a girl is kissed under the mistletoe, she will be married within a year.
Oh, hello, Ruth. What a splendid place to find you, right under the mistletoe. Ah, I claim my kiss.
Oh, good heavens, Roger. I didn't see that mistletoe. Oh, why did you kiss me? Now I'll be married within a year, and I don't want to be.
Don't want to be? Why, of course you do, Ruth. With a fine fellow like Jerry for a fiancé, you don't mean to tell me.
But not so soon, Roger. I made Jerry promise he'd wait 2 years before we were married, until I had a chance to get started on my career. And now you kissed me under that mistletoe and spoiled everything.
Ruth, you don't mean to tell me you really believe in that old superstition?
Well, I surely do. After all, it's a belief that even my grandmother had. A girl who is kissed under the mistletoe will be married within a year.
But, Ruth, that superstition started through ignorance, and not in your grandmother's day, but thousands of years ago. In fact, it was in ancient Babylonia that superstition originated, because of the remarkable experience of the daughter of a nobleman in that country.
You mean they used the mistletoe in those days, Roger?
Exactly, Ruth. You see, among ancient people, the mistletoe was regarded as sacred, because it grew upon branches of trees and was not rooted in the ground. Consequently, they believed it was a divine plant, fallen from heaven, that possessed magical powers to protect them from evil.
Quite a beautiful idea, but very fantastic, wasn't it?
Yes. But to get to the connection of the mistletoe with the kiss, we must go back into the days of pagan worship of the goddess of love. In Babylonia, this goddess was known as Melita, whom every girl was called upon to serve once in her life, by going to her temple and taking a place beneath the sacred mistletoe, where she was obliged to accept the caress of any stranger who uttered the words, "I invoke the goddess Melita," and he gave the girl a coin.
What a strange custom that was.
Well, so it seems to us. But to the people of that time, the sacrifice of one's honor in worship to a god or a goddess was considered the highest form of nobility.
Well, I'm glad I didn't live in those days, Roger.
I should say. But to get to the story. About 1,000 years before the Christ, there lived in the city of Babylon a nobleman who had 2 daughters. Zelia, his firstborn, was a beautiful girl. But her half-sister, Shepha by name, was quite plain and of a very jealous disposition. Zelia had been promised in marriage to a handsome young prince, with whom Shepha, her half-sister, was secretly in love.
Was the young prince in love with Shepha?
No, he was madly in love with Zelia, for she was as gentle-natured as she was beautiful. Shepha, however, felt that if it had not been for her half-sister, she herself would have been betrothed to the young prince. As the time was drawing near for the beautiful Zelia to make her sacrifice in the temple of Melita, Shepha, who realized that soon after the ceremony her half-sister's marriage would be consummated, decided to put her out of the way.
Why, the horrid creature!
Yes. Nevertheless, Shepha secured the aid of Esau, a leader of a low class of traders who traveled from country to country, selling their stolen goods. On the morning of the day that Zelia was to go to the temple of Melita, Shepha had sent for Esau. They were secretly planning her half-sister's abduction, and...
Esau, we must complete our business quickly, for already my sister Zelia doth prepare herself to go to the temple.
Yea, mistress.
Then listen. This is what you must do. I will accompany my sister to the temple of Melita, and after she hath fulfilled her duty, we will return home by the lonely path that edges the city, where your men can wait to seize her when we pass.
Yea, mistress. But why do you desire me to steal your sister?
With Zelia out of the way, my father will pledge me to her betrothed, the young prince whom I love dearly. Now do you understand, Esau?
Yea, but the heart of a woman is changeable. How can I be sure thou wilt not repent and betray me, mistress?
A woman who loves will do anything to attain her heart's desire, Esau. Do not fear that I will betray thee. You can trust me.
I must be sure of that, for I come every year to the city to trade, and I cannot risk discovery of such a deed.
You have nothing to fear from me, Esau, but here, take this little chest. It is filled with silver. And when you sell my sister, you will get a goodly sum for her, for she is beautiful.
Shepard!
Yea, Zalia, I come. Look, Esau, peer through this lattice. There on the balcony, you can see for yourself how beautiful she is.
She is fair as the young silver moon. I know a king who will give much treasure for her.
Then you will do this for me, Esau?
Yea, mistress.
Good. But you must go now. Hurry. Cut through the gate in the garden. Be careful that none may see thee.
Yea. And remember, mistress, should you betray me, I will kill thee. Farewell.
Shepard, are you coming? We must go to the temple.
Oh, yes, Zalia, I am ready.
Come then. We must go, Shepard. How I tremble at the thought of this ordeal.
Oh, do not feel that way, Zalia. Remember, it is the command of Melita.
Yea, our beloved goddess must be served. But how stifling it is in these streets today.
You are right, Zalia. The air is very heavy.
Shepard, you walk too fast. It tires me to keep up with you.
Forgive me, gracious sister. I'm sorry. How pale thou art today, but truly thou doth look more beautiful than I have ever seen thee. Ah, here is the temple.
Now I must go on alone, Shepard. Wait in the other part of the temple until I fulfill my duty. Fare thee well, dear sister.
I will wait, Zalia. Farewell.
Oh, Shepard, at last my sacrifice is completed. Come, let us get away from here.
Yea, Zalia, but let us return by the little path that edges the city, so that thou wilt not be molested by the staring eyes of the people.
Thou art thoughtful, dear sister, and I am grateful.
Isn't it beautiful along this lonely path, Zalia?
Yes, Shepard, and do not the palms look stately, outlined against the sky?
True, Zalia, and the air is less sultry here. It is much cooler, is it not?
I do feel as though... Oh!
Quick, men, before someone doth see us. Shanna, bind the maiden. Cover her with a robe and take her upon thy horse. Help him, Turgu, while I attend to the other sister.
What are you going to do, Esau? Let me go.
I am going to kill you so that you will not betray me. Ah!
Oh!
She's dead. To your horses, men, quick! Shanna, keep to the center of our group and ride so as not to arouse suspicion. Turgu, you ride beside me. Let us go, men.
When we reach the open plain, Esau, we must ride as fast as we can to our camp.
Yea, Turgu. And then we must break camp quickly so that we can get out of this country as soon as possible. Ah, here's the plain. Let us make haste. Faster, men!
What will you do with this maiden, Esau?
I know a king who would give much treasure for such a beauty, Turgu.
Sometimes I think kings are very fortunate, Esau. Ah, at last, here is the camp.
'Tis well. Shanna, give the maiden to Turgu. Then go tell the men to break camp so that we may leave this place immediately.
Hey, master.
Leave the girl bound, Turgu.
But I fear this binding will cut her mouth, Esau.
You are right. We must not spoil her beauty, and it will do her no good to cry out in this desolate place. Remove the binding.
Yes, Esau. There, maiden. Does that feel better now?
You'd best rest, Zalia. You have a long journey ahead of you.
What are you going to do with me?
I shall sell you to a king.
Nay, I beg of thee, return me to my people. They will give you...
Yea, I know, a cold blade in my back, mistress. Nay.
Ah, gracious Melita, I implore thee to save me. Did I not make my sacrifice to thee beneath thy sacred plant?
Tego, she thinks her prayers will save her. What has happened?
Master! The wrath of the gods is upon us. 3 of the horses have been killed, and the tent with the fine silks and wools is a mass of flame.
Oh, beloved goddess, do not forsake
Esau,
me.
'tis this maiden. She must be under the protection of the goddess. It will not be safe to keep her with us.
You are right, Turgu. We're accursed. Shanna, Take this maiden to the road that leads into the city.
Yea, master.
Perhaps it will still the wrath of the goddess Melita that has fallen upon us. Send this maiden back to her people. Away with her! Away! Away!
And so Zelia was restored to her family, and her marriage to the young prince followed soon after. When the people learned of her miraculous deliverance, they rejoiced and gave thanks to the goddess, for they believed that it had been her intervention that had saved Zelia. So they came to the conclusion that any maiden who had stood beneath the mistletoe was protected by the goddess and rewarded with a husband within a year. You see how ridiculous that superstition is, Ruth?
Why, it's nothing of the sort. After all, she had been under that mistletoe and was married within a year, Roger.
Yes, I know, but don't you see, Ruth? Regardless of that, she would have been married within a year anyway, because her parents had already betrothed her to the young prince.
But what about her kidnapping, Roger? The mistletoe protected her then, didn't it?
Don't tell me you didn't get that point, Ruth. If that electrical storm had not arisen at that time, which to the imaginative minds of those people was a sign of divine wrath, the girl would never have been released.
Well, yes, that's true, but I don't...
Ruth!
Why, Jerry! Oh, I thought you'd never get
I'm
here.
sorry, Ruth. I was detained. I just got a telegram that I'm to leave for South America as soon as possible, to be gone for 5 years. Well, dear, that means we'll have to get married right away.
Oh, why, Jerry, you promised you'd wait 2 years.
Yes, I know, Ruth, but I didn't expect to go to South America then. After all, darling, you're not going to let your career keep us apart for 5 years.
Oh, no, but... Oh, now there, Roger. You see, it's all on account of that mistletoe.
And so Ruth went to South America with Jerry, firmly convinced that if she had not been kissed under the mistletoe, she would have been starting on a career instead of a honeymoon. Well, au revoir and good luck to you.